What is up, guys? We're back and I am ready for another build in the city, and I'm really excited about today's build because I worked really hard on it and I think it turned out amazing, way better than the other builds we've been doing lately. So I'm really excited to show you this. But of course, with every build it starts with getting resources. So I started by running around my storage room, getting the resources there, then heading over to the wood chopping area, chopping down like 8 different kinds of trees for like a couple hours. That took a while, but eventually getting all the resources so that we could just get going with the build and we don't have to worry about it. So while I was actually getting resources, I went on a side quest to fully enchant a hoe and then turn it into a netherite hoe so that I could use it to get leaves that I needed. So yeah, I have that now. So now we can actually start building, and it seems I forgot to press record on this one and started the build a little bit late, but that's okay. So here, pretty basic build palette, but I decided to do a unique roof on it with a more curved roof instead of a like triangle roof. And so here you can see I started doing some outside decoration, which I'm trying to do more with my builds. And then doing an interior here because this will be a farm eventually. You'll see me put down a trapdoor in the corner. That is going to go to a bee farm underneath that this build is, because it's a candle shop. So I'm hoping in the next video I can get that going. I ran out of time to record this video, but in the next video hopefully I can get that to, you know, do what I want. And yeah, I'm happy with how this build turned out. You see me putting in the finishing details, and then we can move on to the next builds. So moving on to the next couple of builds on the side street back there, we have this smaller build, just a residence, pretty basic build palette. I've done it before a few times. You know, you can only do so many good looking build palettes, so sometimes you're gonna repeat. But I'm happy with how this build turned out. I did some extra detailing with a brick roof that is spewing smoke, as well as some nice trapdoors on the side of the windows as shutters, which I do on the other builds. Now moving on, this is a completely new build palette for me. I tried a brick foundation with a cherry wood walls and a dark oak supports, as well as dark oak roof. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I like the contrast between the very bright pink and the very dark oak wood. And I maybe would have changed the foundation, but other than that, I'm pretty happy how it turned out. And I really like that window area I made in the front with the leaves and the campfires, creating this nice little area. Now this fourth build that I did here is actually identical to a build that I did over in the other part of the city, which you can go check out in another video. Every once in a while, my builds are going to be identical. I can only come up with a new build every so often, and so I think it's okay for a build to be identical, because you drive around a town, you're gonna find a couple identical buildings. Another thing I did here was I made a chimney, but there's no smoke coming out of it. I don't think every chimney needs to have smoke coming out of it, because that would imply that everybody who has a chimney is using it at the exact same time. So not everyone will have a chimney coming out of it. Moving on to this build. This build was much bigger than I expected it to be, so I'm probably going to make it a shop or something at some point, but for right now it's just going to stay empty. As you know, I can't do an interior for every single build. It would take A, too much time, and B, lag out my world too much. But I'm going to do interiors for the builds that I'm going to actually go in and out of. So maybe I can turn this build into a farm, and then I can give it an interior, since I'll be going in and out of it. But it's a pretty nice build, happy with how it turned out. Now we can move on to the next couple set of buildings. So this build I did something pretty unique, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's a pretty basic foundation to start with, but then I decided to do these stripped wow, I can't remember what's called, juggle wood. And instead of doing glass for the windows, I did scaffolding, which if you watch Flip, you would know that's a trick he uses a lot. I'm just not sure if I like it or not yet, so I only use it on this build. I also went ahead and made windows in the roof, which is something I've never done before. So yeah, I really tried to make this build unique, and I'm not sure if I love everything about it, but I'm definitely liking parts of it, so I think this kind of style is going to stick around at least for a little bit longer, so I can figure out if I like it or not. I'm never going to tear down a build in my world unless I really hate it, so to help, show me growing as a builder, so, keep that in mind. This build is, for the most part, pretty basic. I do like the cobbled deep slate roof that I did on this one, so I think I'm going to do that more often coming up. And then I gave this one the roof windows as well as a staircase on the side, because this is going to be another shop with a residence on the top of it. And this one does get kind of an interior by the end of the build. You're gonna have to wait and see that though. Now the last handful of buildings we're gonna be doing, starting off with this smaller building. This is a sort of restaurant, I guess. It's not a fully fledged restaurant. It's more, my envisioning for this was more like a food truck except a building. So there's no like indoor seating. You just come up to the window, order your food, and then they'll make it for you and you can go eat it somewhere. So I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out, and I thought it made a lot of sense with its location and everything. I'm just happy with how it turned out and the way everything just came together, especially that unique roof I made for it. Here I built another one of those shops. This one's a pretty basic build palette for me, but as always I tried to give it that extra detailing where I could, and I'm happy with how it turned out at the end. Obviously I do design these in creative and then bring them into the survival world, so obviously I'm gonna try and do the best that I can with these builds instead of creating them and then tearing them down. And then here with the final build of the video, we have a nice contrasting colors here with the black and the white. Really like how that came together. And stick around, because even though this is the last build, it's not the last thing we're doing in this video. Still have a few more things we got to get done to really bring the entire place together. And I also gave it this outside sort of spot because I felt like it needed it, where they're going to be selling cakes. So I've talked about it in previous videos, but my favorite part of this entire world, like my favorite space, is the area over in the Fisher area in the village, where I built this little garden hidden between a couple of buildings where there was just a bunch of space there. And I thought I would try and replicate something like that with a custom tree. So this is my first time ever even trying to make a custom tree, and I'm really happy with how the trunk turned out. The only thing I kind of dislike about it is the leaf work, but I'm really just not sure how to make that look very good. So, I really tried here, but I really enjoyed the detailing I did at the bottom with the well and benches and leaf litter, and even eventually putting a spore blossom in there to bring the particles in, as well as hanging a lantern from the branches of the tree. I'm really happy with how it's turned out, and it was a really interesting challenge for me to try and do. So like I said, we're not done yet. We still have issues now with mob spawning everywhere, and I don't want any creepers blowing up everything I worked so hard to build. So I ran around with glow lichen and dotted that around the place to help with mob spawns. But while I have you here, I would like to do a very quick shout out to my second YouTube channel, JBC. On there, I am uploading Jurassic World Evolution content at the moment, and if that does well, then that'll probably become a Jurassic World Evolution YouTube channel. But if it doesn't, that's whatever. It'll still be my second channel where I upload whatever I want. Basically there, I just do fun video projects that I think of doing. And if you guys like those fun video projects, then, go ahead and go check out that YouTube channel. But if you just want to stay for the Minecraft, that's all cool. So now to finish up, we are going to build a very quick bamboo farm. And I figured you didn't want to watch the whole progress of me sitting there building a floor and a roof. So here's the roof, here's the floor. And I just went ahead and made the entire farm because it's the most basic farm you could ever make. It's the exact same as sugarcane farm, so I just did it myself. I figured you guys would not want to watch that. So here's the farm. Now that that is all done, we can tour everything that we've built for a quick recap, and that'll be the video. So I'll switch you guys over to real time me. Hello guys, real time Jeff the Blue Creeper here. It's been a while since I've done a real time segment. Oh, RIP. And we're gonna be touring the build and looking at what I've done. So I forgot to put this in the video, but I did put in street lamps around the city. My dog's serious right now. So this is the candle shop that we did. So coming in here, you just got a lot of candles on display and stuff. Really like how this turned out. Obviously there's nothing down here yet. I'm gonna have to wait till the next video to see that, but I am happy with how this turned out. I like the bushes and everything on the outside, so yeah, I'm happy with that one. Moving on to over here, we have this one. I really like the whole bushes in front of the window. It kind of helps add a little bit to the build, which I again did take from Flip. He's a huge inspiration for my content, so you know. And then I added like some of these. This is that smaller build here with the brick chimney, looking pretty good. I really like how this turned out with the covering as well as the bushes here. I'm really happy with how this entire build turned out in general. So here I have this build, which down here you can kind of enter the building, and there's another door up there. So I don't know, if I ever make an interior for this, that'll be interesting, try and work around. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I like how I managed to blend the porch here with the sidewalk using that staircase. This is the build that I tried to do some new stuff with, including using a bamboo door. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. Let me show you something I did real quick. You can't really see in the video, but I did this weird thing with the chimney, and I'm not sure I like it. Yeah, I'm not sure how I like it. Maybe I'll do some more of that, but probably not. Moving on with this build, which is the one that we went ahead and did the interior to. Well, not the interior, but we put the farm down here. I do need some help in the comments. What do y'all think I should do for the interior? I really don't know what to do in here, so if you guys could help me, I'll also be uploading a short to see if people on the shorts could help me. We gotta figure this out for the next video. Here is the nice little kitchen I made. I'm happy with how this one turned out. Maybe I could have put like campfire under these, but yeah, it's not really worth it. But you got the fridge, stove, little like cutting table. Yeah, I'm happy with how this one turned out. And it is right in front of the Capitol building, as you guys can see. So in the next video, we're also going to be decorating the outside of the Capitol building. The next video is really just going to be working inside of the city, decorating, doing interiors that I forgot, and putting a couple farms in. And we are going to be building a new building as well, but you're just going to have to wait till the next video to see what that one will be. I have this shop here, which I like the sort of like differences I did on the side. This one has a big window, this one has like some smaller ones with the bushes outside. And then the final shop that I made with the cake spot outside. So yeah, this is a pretty nice build I did. I really like the pale oak next to the deep slate. I'm definitely gonna have to use that more often. And then coming down here to our custom tree. I do like this spot, but I don't think it beats the garden in the fishing village part of the city. Just because it's not as private, you could say. There's still a lot of space out here, so maybe I'll try and fill in this area to make this feel like a bit more private, because that's, I think, part of the reason I like the build so much over there. But I am happy with how this turned out for the most part. Again, the leaves probably could have made a little bit better, but I'm just not sure what to do with that. So yeah, I also feel like there's too many particles from the spore blossom. I don't know what it is. But yeah, that's everything that we did in today's video. I'm happy that you guys decided to watch. If you watched till this far, comment down below. Let's think of a random word. Tree. Yeah, comment down below tree if you made it to this far in the video so I can know you watched the whole thing. Subscribe, please. Trying to hit 300 subscribers for the end of the year. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. See you later.